everyone, today I'll be reviewing Witcher the Blood Origin, this brand new origin story for Witcher show just dropped on Netflix on Christmas Day. I think the show was highly anticipated, although the trailer never looked that good for this show. But I think some people were really looking forward to this show. So I saw like before this show even dropped on Netflix, the show was getting really bad review, and I try to stay away from any review before I review myself, because you don't want to be your expectation or your thought tainted by other people. That means after watching this show, I understand why it's getting Rotten Tomato score. Although the people are trying to blame on the show's failure on something else. But here's the thing about this show. This show, the first episode, like when I say it, it took me so long to finish it. It's so boring. And it's like none of these characters are interesting when you watch them. Neither. And although this show did try to add all this oak thing, and I'm here thinking like, why you are adding all this thing in this show? Because do you not know who watches this show? Netflix, they try to cater. Like they try to please everyone, and the people you are trying to please here, they do not watch your show called Witcher. I don't even know many women watch Witcher, honestly, if I'm being honest here. And although I love Witcher, I love Witcher. I really liked season 1. Season 2, I thought it was okay. It wasn't as action-packed as I was hoping, but the story-wise was definitely interesting. Now that I hear all this behind-the-scene information, makes sense why season 2 was really very slow-mo. The last episode was really very bad. Then again, I have to think about that. Witcher season 2, when it came out, it was a peak pandemic time. Maybe that is why it had so many less side, less extra people. So what do I think about this show that is getting so much hate? I would say this season, like this show, it does have only 4 episodes, and I couldn't finish it because it's so boring. I was like, oh, life is too short, it's not worth the travel. And I think this show, like the biggest problem with this show, it did promises, very interesting promise about origin story about Witcher, and the way the story told and all this thing they added here didn't work. Honestly, it really didn't work for me. I was like, this is not, especially when you are watching fantasy genre, I don't get it why they add all this thing, and it's really take you out of anything. And this show came out from Poland, and it make even more difficult to enjoy it. And that being said, of course, this show, in the trailer, I thought it's show going to be centered around Michelle Yeoh. She is really less in this show, and these two center character, like the elf leader, for him to get fired from his position was like, what? And then this elf lady, sorry, I keep saying elf. The elf lady, her backstory was also like, whoa. None of this character I found them interesting, if I'm being honest here. And this show does have all this scenery. The way this show is shot, it tried to make you think, oh, this show is really very beautiful looking. But when I actually think about it, it's just boring. These people walking down this road, all this mountain, doing nothing. After a while, it does become very boring. So here's the thing, all the hate this show is getting is really deserves. This show is really boring, and this is the only show they dropped on Christmas Day, and I don't understand Netflix why they're doing this. They're gonna lose a lot of subscribers. Of course, this show, it is like all this oakness they added, I don't think it needed, because again, these are not your viewers you are trying to please. But then again, who knows? I found the show to be boring and not that good. The storytelling was really bad. None of the action scenes. When you're watching the fantasy genre, you do want a good choreographed action scene. And the action scene, the way they shot, I was like, who shot this scene? Obviously, the show creator, I think it was just a cash grab, this show. The way, okay, maybe some set design were okay. Not all of them were garbage, I would say. The costume, I did not like any of their costumes, and I didn't like their action scene that much. So that is the biggest thing about me. When I'm watching fantasy genre, I need a good costume, good set pieces, good action scenes. These are very important. And that's why this show was really boring for me. And I don't recommend anybody check this out. And that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment. What do you think about this show? And if you enjoyed this review, don't share other reviews on other Netflix show. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.